here. But let me tell you something. If he becomes more consistent and continues to have that drive to be one of the best, we'll see more of that in the future.
Flush to his right. He'll try and run it. And a loose football. And this is picked up by the Browns. He's at the 50. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line. And how about the big boys showing off the wheels?
Let's face it. Anybody who watches a game, even if it goes against your team, when there's a big man with the football, everyone locks in.
All eyes.
Everyone locks in, and they're rumbling. You can feel it all the way to the upper reaches of the stands.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple.
Here we go. Tight right. Five down. Stand up in. Switch. 6 guys. Check 6 guys.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Set. 180. Check 55. Come on. Rip left.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league in converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. Now here's a screen play left side. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Kareem Hunt, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns have taken the lead. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Hey, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that, because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Pryor. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Ready. Check. Walk 54. Check down.
2nd and 15. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. It was Joe Hayden, the former Pro Bowler, that came up to get him down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They go with Chubb on second down, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Do you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. You might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively. In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. On 3rd down, here's Hunt. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
Austin Seibert for the Browns field goal. A 52-yard snap.
And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3, and this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over, and it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Credit the sack to the always disruptive Olivier Vernon. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
He's checking.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Only 3 yards on the pickup. They'll be left staring at a 3rd and 14.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. Throwing on 3rd and long. Pryor looks to throw, fires right side, and that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. Back deep, Jarvis Landry. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. This is taken at the 15. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. Yeah. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter, 14-7. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend.
Mike's 50. 50's the mic. 50's the mic.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Steven Nelson. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Throwing again. Pryor. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Let's go.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
A gain of 11 on the play.
Let's go, baby.
And the Steeler first down.
This quarterback now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Pryor. And that is intercepted by the Pro Bowl quarterback Denzel Ward. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here, but he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing, Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ryan Shazier got in that time, the first-round pick of 2014.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Check 55, Mike. Watch the backer, watch the backer. Hey, alert 33. Hey, exit.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more.
First and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Mike 29. Cut. 29 is Mike. Mike 29. Here we go.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He'll get this one to Switzer. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. On 1st and 10, Pryor. And it's caught. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. A bit of a surprise. They're going for it with 2 ticks remaining. No sign of the field goal unit. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side.
Watch the run, watch the run. Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
The final shot before break. Pryor toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get this back to just the 20 with a penalty marker down. Let's see what this is about. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Here's Mayfield. That one is caught by Hunt. It's a gain of 7, and it'll make it a 2nd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Bud Dupree in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9.
20 right, 20 right, 20 right. 50, mark 50, mark 50. No guarding on this defense, no. Hey, Delta. You got tight. You got tight. You got tight right there.
So that'll back him up 5. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback.
Right there. 54 miles. Hey, keep it up.
And again this time to the tailback. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Olivier Vernon brings him down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick. And what a terrific play. Holding them with no gain.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
First down, Steelers.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Off play action. Pryor. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Looking to throw. Pryor. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The Cleveland offense ready to go. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
No gain on the play there, second down. Gets past one man. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Bye. I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school. Hurry. Mike 50. Here we go. Let's go, Mike 50.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Kareem Hunt with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And it's now 21-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot. Because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Pryor got an open man. It's Washington. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. And this is away, and I don't think Landry will get a chance to return here. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it, and they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse. I believe he'll eventually.
Kill. Turn it up. Kill. Turn it up.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mayfield. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them, because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well. Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Pryor, he's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Here's Samuels. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. Try and run with their fullback. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
54 Mike. Check. Watch 54.
From the gun, Pryor. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. backfield. That's complete. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. Operating from the gun, Pryor, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Now Roethlisberger to throw. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
1st down, Steelers.
This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Myles Garrett able to record his 5th sack of the season. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, Pryor. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. Facing this 4th quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock, they know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And again, it's Chubb. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
180. Hey, alert 33. We got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. Convert. Shift. Kill. X3. 218. Chopper. Kings.
3rd and short yardage. Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bud Dupree, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. This is away, and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
On 1st down, Pryor, and nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Ryan Switzer, the intended target. Third down here. Operating from the gun. Pryor, he'll rifle this one deep, and that's caught inside the 35. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Washington, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Extra point now by Boswell. It's up and good. This becomes a 21-14 ball game now. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down.
Bravo!
Mayfield. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Mayfield in this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. Mayfield leaves it for Hunt on the draw. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still 3rd and long.
Alert, alert! Alert, alert!
Mayfield looks to throw. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
2nd and 10 at the Browns' 30-yard line.
It's our time. It's our time.
To throw on 2nd down. Pryor. And a quick throw here. That's complete. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. From the gun. Pryor. And he finds McDonald. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Snags it for the pick. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Hurry!
A run for Nick Chubb. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Now Chubb. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And they'll indeed take a knee.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 41-yard line.
180! Get the 50! Check my 50! I'm coming!
Down to one knee goes Mayfield, and that's all she wrote. And that knee will do it. So they snap the losing streak. Always a good feeling.
Yeah, I don't know if this one right here when they're taking a knee is as much exultation as exhalation, right? They just breathed a sigh of relief. Finally got a win. Needed one desperately.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of. But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the Browns, it's a 2nd win on the year now as they move to 2-8. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.